Alright, welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, Millennium Dawn modded Burundi playthrough. This is... We are in World War 4, and kind of got in... It's bad, right? So I need to do an overview anyway of like where we're at. But basically, from what I can tell, is we've effectively lost our entire air force. So they have 6,000 fighters in this region. We used to have another, I think we sent in something like 4,000 in this area. Even though we've pushed into Israel, we cannot maintain it. We're getting pushed back in Saudi Arabia pretty hard. And they're able to squeeze some more resources in there. We're actually making gains in like Iraq towards Iran, towards these airfields, which are helping. And I think we've also like cut out a lot of their oil. If you go to the trade menu, there's only 118 available. So I'm not sure they're doing great with oil. Right? Now, could they trade with like Brazil and South America? It's totally possible. And I'm not really, I don't know how to see that, even though I probably should look that up. But if we were able to keep taking out their oil and had enough troops, I would say that would be possible. But I think we're getting ground down as it is right now. If you look, we're behind in production for replacements now, and pretty much we're basically going into our stockpiles for all of the equipment that we have. And we're already low on tech metals. I think we're trading for everything we can with everyone. Yeah. Lost a couple oil here and steel and light metal. So that's not good, but it's sustainable for what our current production was. We would be getting more ships soon. Running out of cruise missiles. We have SAMs. Running out of AWACS. Actually starting to run out of tanks too. So this is kind of the state of where we're at. What far as our stockpiles go. How we're losing the war. And this is kind of showing where they stand as far as units. Like they've got 80,000 more tanks we'd have to burn through. IFVs. It looks like they're down to their 4th gen IFV. But they still have like 12,000 of those. And they have some like lower IFVs, lower gens. Self-propelled artillery is down to a couple thousand, which is still a lot. Planes, they just still have tons of naval planes. Tons of fighters. Yeah, see, they have 13,000. What are these, bombers? Like, their air force is insane. We're kind of grinding their IFVs down, so that's good to know. They still have 10. Like, look at these tanks. See where they're at. That'll give me an idea how. So they have like 5,000 modern tanks right here. We're not going to be able to mess with. Some 30,000 older tanks or 20,000. Yeah. More strategic, 30,000 more bombers. Some multi-role fighter, 5th gen, they have 10,000 of. They can use for air. Regular arms, they just have tons of backup. Regular arms of various ages. They're 100,000 or so. Artillery, ATGMs. So equipment-wise, they're beat down for sure. The problem is how the war is going for us. Because we have what? We've taken out 1 million troops ourselves, right? They've taken out 200k less. Or sorry, we've lost 1 million troops. My bad. I said that wrong. We've lost 1 million troops, and they've only lost 850,000 from us. We've only been in the war for a couple months. And we've taken extreme hits because of the Air Force situation. The US has been in this war for like 10 years. They don't have anything left. Like, they've lost basically, I think that's like what they have left to field at this point. I don't think they're going to be able to get it like into the war other than their navy still. Because I've seen their navy come around and get some wins. But there are at least two carrier strike groups I've seen from Europe hovering around the area down here. And I don't know what's actually in the Mediterranean. So that's a problem. If I take out the rest of Indonesia, this could change, right? Because I will be able to start getting some steel, and there are some tech metals here. It's a good amount, actually. That would actually help my production immensely. It's just not going to be enough. So, yeah, realistically, my only shot to actually win this war would have been to stockpile more 6th-gen fighters. Taking out Australia would have been the play to do before starting the war with Europe. We would have had the Air Force power to probably do that. It does make me want to try some other things, but I don't see this being recoverable. I think we'll continue to lose ground slowly as they eat us away through their air power. Yeah, so what was our losses? Yeah, so they're able to keep fielding just planes to slowly whittle down what we got. We have like nothing left up there. And we've lost all our fighters we had. I can work on these air bases. That may help, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be counterproductive because once I get these up, they're just going to move more planes into the like region and be able to press us harder. So this isn't actually going to help. Might actually hurt us. Assuming they push down this far, which I think they could, looking at this. Let's see that airbase. Is there an airbase here? There is. So I'm gonna move these up. There was a 350 over here. And I'm gonna put them over Saudi Arabia. But yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with, is just they have too many planes for what we got. Can't exactly field enough to counter them. And we can't replace them as fast as they're replacing theirs. And these were running interception missions, about 400 planes. So let's get these up. Get these started doing that up here. I mean, the best we can do is start getting these going. Like, look at these. Like, just how many losses these units have, these wings. Like, we've kind of evened out. They're still sending, like, missiles at us. And some fighters. Not a lot, but they are still sending them. Yeah, and we're gonna lose all these troops that are trapped up here in Europe. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. That's a slow fall and collapse. But yeah, it's kind of the state of things. We're just gonna slowly get 8 down at this rate. I don't see us being able to change that unless we were able to take this gap again, which I don't think we're going to be able to do without air support. Because I don't think we can even hold what we have. To realistically break this, we could slowly start influencing these countries and try and get agents over here. Like in Chad, or like boosting ideology. And get them into the war and just have them throw more units at these different fronts. But yeah, it's just gonna go badly. Now, if we could cut behind, that'd be a different story. I just don't see it happening. They just have too many resources coming from China. We would have had to have made inroads way earlier in the game. But I think strategically, from a macro level, how we messed up is rather than taking a lot of these small African nations as fast as we did over here, we should have been working on going for either South America or Australia earlier. That kind of plays into having that naval buildup earlier in the game as well that I was talking about with the research bonus. So that would have helped. Otherwise, we would just have to have waited to start this war more. So you can kind of really see the weaknesses as they are. It's kind of how this is going. I think I want these to have an offensive to there. We'll just start grinding these as best we can. We're actually gonna give him offensive doctrine and her ambusher. It looks like we had a commander die, possibly. No, I don't really care for what he's doing. But looks like this is not gonna hold, just from what I'm looking at. We may actually be able to take advantage of the weakened eastern flank here. This is kind of unique. They are amassing more units. They're coming from Europe in just a constant stream. So like here, this would be great. If we had, see, I think we're just gonna run out of health because we're gonna be short equipment. These look like they're fine over in Europe. See how, yeah, like we're about to lose like one of those attack LEs. Just because we're out of helicopters completely. We've already lost some, looks like. These are absolutely incapable of fighting now. Like, if I was ideally, right, like, yeah, we're gonna get pushed back there. They're just gonna be able to walk us back. We don't have the equipment to get the units to hold. Let's check doctrine. Yeah, because I can get those up. What are we missing here? Yeah, we're still missing a lot from... We're still missing a lot of experience for the army. It would help. Like, if we had this down to here, where it needs to be, all that would help. But we don't. Are we not a superpower anymore, too? No, we are. We're actually... We moved up in percentage. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's kind of the state of the war right now. I can't really do anything about that. Do we even have a navy to do any naval invasions? I mean, we could move some of these units. I just don't see it being enough to hold it long enough to navally invade, like Borneo. Because if we were going to invade, we'd want to go here. We're losing down here, so they could actually press us into our coastline with a long naval invasion from these islands. They have the units to do it. It's like they're pushing us out of the into the desert again, too. Which is just a problem of equipment. Yeah, it looks like their helicopter divisions are suffering, though. I didn't see in their stockpiles helicopters. So, we are continuing to make kind of progress on that front. It could be an oil thing. That could be our way to victory, but I think we're trading so much to Brazil that they might be just able to like restock and resupply that way. I'm not gonna say we can rely on that by any means. And it's also, I'm just not gonna be researching anything. I think it's fine. I'm hoping that pushing here constantly will keep pressure on this extension and breakthrough they have through our line. It's not a bulge anymore, it's an actual breakthrough. They've got it too wide the whole way, and I can't, even with them out of supply, like all our units are having attrition issues because of supply problems. So I don't know where they're sending their troops. Like, that is a little bit confusing. I'm gonna stop this here and catch everyone on the next episode. Thanks for watching.